Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about America's future in light of the war in Europe, because I think this is shaping everything that we're dealing with today in America. So, something really interesting just happened, and it dealt with Disney's CEO Bob Chapek. He's relatively new. He replaced Bob Iger, and he said something fascinating. So, Florida brings forward a law that the LGBT cis community was incredibly upset with, like very, very frustrated, right? And they're like, "Hey, this is not cool, man. This is really anti everything LGBT cis stands for, and this is not appropriate, right? And this law is really out of line." So Disney has huge, like they have a ton of their operations in Florida. They have a special relationship in Florida because Disney World is in Florida. I'm pretty sure Disneyland is on the West Coast. Let me know if that's the opposite. But Disney World is in Florida, right? So the LGBT cis community, not in Florida, but in the whole world, was like, hey, Disney needs to talk about this. They need to, step to this right now, right? And so the LGBT cis community was like, hey, we want a public statement by Disney, castigating this, right? And Bob Chapek did something fascinating. And what he did was he essentially communicated to the stockholders, right? Which that's fine. That's public. He made a public statement. I don't even know what group he talked to, but it was public. And the moment it's public, it's carried internationally, right? Like if it's some kind. Actually, I think virtually every public word that comes out of Bob Chapek's mouth gets carried internationally on international news, right? So here's what he said. He said, "Y'all's want me." He said it a little different, but this is what he said. This is my summarization of what he said. "Y'all's want me to send some memo out saying that Disney disapproves of this law. I ain't gonna do that, and here's why. This is real. It's a huge break from anything any other. A huge break from what any CEO, American CEO, is doing right now. He's like, I don't care about making sending out some memo saying Disney doesn't approve of what's happening. Here's why. Check this. He said, we want to change the situation. We want to support the LGBT, cis community, right? The way we want to do that is we want to change hearts and minds. And you know how we do that? With entertainment. And essentially what he was saying is, we just gonna keep making movies. We will recraft this whole country. And the way you make change in America is you don't make a memo, you make a movie. And you change hearts and minds with it. So what Bob Chapek is saying is the power to form culture is more important than the power to form law. That's incredible, right? He's saying, I don't need a lobbyist. I need you in the lobby of your local movie theater. That is absolutely astounding because it's saying the quiet part loud, right? He's like, you always want me to do a memo. Memos don't matter today. What matters is changing the culture. And he is 100% right. And what we need, and so right now, right, we have this war in Europe. It's a major problem. So what do? We don't write a letter to our senator, right? We don't call our senator or nonsense like that. You say on social media, close the sky. You say to your friend when you're having a conversation at the diner, I want 100% American energy independence. I don't want to get a drop of oil from anywhere in the world. I don't want renewables. I want domestic drilling all over the United States of America. I want us just drinking our own oil and putting it in our own fossil fuel cars so we are 100% resilient and independent and ready. It is absolutely fascinating. There's nothing like what is happening. Our ability to form culture through conversation is much more important than sending a letter to your senator. They ain't listening. They don't care. Like, if you're not a big corp, what are they going to do, right? That's my opinion. What's your opinion? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.